Hey everyone, I'm Keith.
I'm Alana.
And this is Wine School Debrief. Woohoo! And today, we're not doing wine school.
Or beer school.
No, we are doing tequila.
Tequila.
I'm teaching my tequila class.
Awesome.
All right. Awesome class. I actually do talk about at the end, I do talk about the terms to look for buying great tequila. So stay tuned for that. It's a fun class. Hopefully I don't talk about genocide or anything like I did in my beer class.
You never know.
I don't
Let's
remember.
find out, though.
All right, let's find out.
Oh, please like and subscribe.
Oh, that's right. Like and subscribe. Thank you. You can do this with an onion too. And maybe you've ever had caramelized onions? That's what that is, right? You can turn any carbohydrate sweet by actually either heating it up, cooking it, caramelizing it, or using specific enzymes to actually do that for you. So yeah. So how we do that, just like how we bake a potato. You ever make roasted potatoes and how much sweeter they are if you roast them really, really dark? That's what we do with the piñas. We roast them. Turn those starches into sugars so it's sweet. And you should all know this. Because I just walked into Trader Joe's today, well, that's what this is. This is the point where the piña has been caramelized into a honey-like substance, into this caramel flavor. This is freaking delicious, right? This right here is actually a beer I made using a cheaper version of this that I got wholesale and fermented it. And that, so do you know what I'm pointing at right there? I have right next to me a still.
Oh.
And
sure.
and I'm distilling tequila during class.
Got it.
So you can't see it because it's off to the side, but that's what's going on.
Okay.
And you're starting to smell the distillation.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah. So, as I was fermenting it, I turned it into this agave beer, which is the oldest style, the most ancient of alcoholic drinks in America, by far. That is an ancient Mayan beer that they drank 4,000 years ago. Pulque. And from there, once we've caramelized this piña and we've actually shredded it, we've actually got to this point where we actually have a syrup and ferment it. And once we ferment it, we distill it. Distilling, if you don't know what you're doing, two things can happen. You can kill people by blowing things up because alcohol. I always got why does it always happen? Every class.
Death and destruction.
Yeah.
It always fits.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
But it's really important here. In my defense, it's important that if people want to distill on their own, what can happen? I don't want anyone thinking they should just do this at home. Oh God, yeah, I know. But every class. Alcohol and fire are very dangerous together. And two, if you didn't know that already, you do now. Two, if you don't do it right, you're going to give people brain. You're going to actually give them specific higher alcohols will give you brain damage. So has anyone here ever boiled water? Yes, that's a yes. Yes. And have you done it? Like, have you ever accidentally just let it go and forget to put the pasta in? Right? Yes, everyone's done that. That is all that distilling is. Turning things to vapor, a liquid to vapor, to liquid again. And if you can control that, you can actually distill alcohol.
Okay, that was a lot of information.
Very quickly.
Very succinctly said.
Yes.
So it's vapor to
liquid to vapor.
Liquid to vapor.
To liquid again.
That's distilling.
That's all distilling is. So I always talk about it like boiling water because everyone's accidentally boiled water till there's nothing left.
Yes.
And you have a little bit of stuff left in the pot.
Yes.
And that's the things that can't be distilled. And then all the water is now on your backsplash.
Oh
That's
my
distilled water.
gosh.
That's distilled water.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. I try to make complex points quickly.
I almost missed it. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I've never heard that before. That's
Yeah.
really, really helpful.
Cool.
So cool.
Excellent. Very easy. Because water and alcohol just actually become vapor at different temperatures. So alcohol becomes, by about 176 degrees, it's becoming vapor long before the water does, like at 212 about. So water, heat, beer, the alcohol starts to become gas, and all we really have to do, because now this is full of alcohol, vapor, all we have to make sure is we have a lid on it, usually a dome lid, with some copper piping, which will actually allow the steam to come out, force out, right? And then because it's copper, it'll cool very quickly. There's copper piping in here, and you hear that fan, right? The fan is going because it's cooling it off as it becomes vapor. And very soon, what we're going to see is clear liquid coming out, because it's always clear. Because like everything distilled is going to be clear, and we're going to collect it right there. That's what we're doing right here. I'm making tequila in front of you. First, alcohols that come out are not will kill you. So if anyone wants to lose like about 20 points of your IQ, you can have a shot of that. There'll be only about a couple micrograms of that. That's why I'm going to pull this out, and then I'll get the rest of it in here. And how do I know when to stop, which it is? Well, because math. There's a very complex algorithm that I use that I actually built like 5 years ago, so I don't have to do it every single time. But yes, that is what tequila is. Tequila is unique about all, because it actually has flavor at this stage, right? Most times you distill, whether it's for beer, like distilling beer for whiskey, or distilling any like a potato beer for vodka, it tastes like shit. It's terrible. Either it tastes like nothing, like like vodka, or if you're making your mash for whiskey, it tastes terrible. Tequila is the only one that actually tastes beautiful. So when you're looking at tequilas, one of the things you want to find, you want somebody to tell you that it's done in the traditional open vat copper still. These are terms you look for. Open vat copper still. These are old ways of doing things that take a lot more time. They're messy. They're a pain in the ass. And no one in their right mind will do this because you cannot make a lot of it. But that's the thing we want. That's what's the greatness. We don't want a product that is just marketing and just actually putting money into Seagram's pockets. We really want.
Mezcal has become very, very popular.
Yes, yeah.
But we also know that there are small quantities of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also pricey.
Yeah.
Is that related to this?
In some ways, because in this class I do go into mezcals as well.
Okay.
But yes, and mezcals, because they're expensive in the U.S., but largely not. That doesn't trickle down to the producers.
Oh, okay.
But because this old way of making things is more of a sustainable.
But they're the open vat copper still. Okay, that's what I was trying to. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, cool.
And exactly. So this is the old way of doing things, typically by poorer distilleries or small mom and pop distilleries. And yes, absolutely. The difference is in mezcal is the better ones are actually they're not even roasted in an oven, but over flames. You got a little smoky note too. And that's the one thing that you won't get in tequila is that smokiness.
Okay.
But yes, so yeah, it's a degree of how rustic they're making it.
Love it.
Is something that's actually made where we can walk to the person and go like, yo, that dude pulled that piñas out of the ground, and that dude fermented it, and that dude over there freaking distilled it. Like, that's what you want. And that's what I want to show you, because we don't want something that's just a generic drink that you don't know where it's from. made by a large company and it's just anonymous. Because it has no flavor, no soul, and it's just okay to get you drunk if you're 18 years old. And then for your tequila for the next 20 years of your life. Now, when you see that term, blanco, plata, or silver, it just means clear. It means it's actually just this. What we're making right now. I am making a blanco right now. That is what it is. It typically will be distilled twice, maybe only one time, but typically twice. And you have this beautiful flavor profile. The first term we want to look for is 100% agave.
Here it is.
That's the hot tip.
That is really an important tip. It is, and I go into this, it's that if it does say 100% agave, that means they're using sugar to ferment rather than all agave. And those are real substandard. They're more closely related to vodka than real artisanal tequila.
All that means, it doesn't mean it's pure. They have that 1% still if they're cheating. None of the ones I'm showing you do that, but it means that they're not using sugar to pump up. So they're not using, because if they don't say 100% agave, that means they're actually using sugar, table sugar, to increase the alcohol content, and it's not 100% agave. There is an even older style, and mostly it's made outside of the Jalisco, the tequila producing areas, where you still have the flavors where they're roasting those piñas. When they're roasting them instead of in an oven, in a brick oven, they're roasting them over fire.
And that's when I start talking about
Mezcal.
mezcal.
Okay.
Yes.
I was going to say death and destruction, but that was we already had that.
I do that once, maybe twice every class.
Oh, I learned so much.
Yeah, and we drank so many great tequilas in this class.
Mm.
Oh my God. Oh,
Very
yeah.
jealous.
I
All
was-
right, folks.
Yay. Well, folks, have a great night.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.